Game of Thrones is a popular fantasy television series that aired on HBO from 2011 to 2019, based on the book series A Song of Ice and Fire by George R.R. Martin. The show depicts the struggle for power and control over the fictional continent of Westeros. The show has a vast cast of characters and a complex storyline with multiple subplots, so I'll provide a brief overview of the main plot points. Season 1. The series begins with the Stark family of Winterfell receiving news that Jon Arryn, the Hand of the King, has died under suspicious circumstances. Ned Stark, the head of the Stark family, is asked to become the new Hand of the King by his old friend King Robert Baratheon, who he fought alongside during a rebellion. Meanwhile, across the Narrow Sea, exiled Prince Viserys Targaryen is plotting to use his sister Daenerys to marry Khal Drogo, the leader of a nomadic tribe, in order to gain an army to retake the Iron Throne. As Ned investigates the death of Jon Arryn, he uncovers a conspiracy involving the Lannister family, who are in power in King's Landing. Ned confronts the Queen, Cersei Lannister, and her brother Jaime about the incestuous relationship between them and the fact that her children are actually fathered by Jaime. Ned is betrayed by one of his own men and imprisoned, and ultimately executed on the orders of the young King Joffrey Baratheon, who is actually the product of Cersei and Jaime's incestuous relationship. Meanwhile, Daenerys becomes pregnant with Drogo's child, but he dies and she is left alone and vulnerable. Season 2. War breaks out between the Baratheon and Lannister factions, with Stannis Baratheon, Robert's younger brother, claiming the throne for himself. Robb Stark, Ned's son, is declared king in the north and leads his army south to fight against the Lannisters. Meanwhile, Tyrion Lannister, the youngest Lannister son, becomes Hand of the King and tries to control the chaos in King's Landing. Daenerys manages to hatch 3 dragon eggs, giving her a powerful weapon to aid her in her quest to retake the Iron Throne. She also gains the loyalty of the Unsullied, an elite army of slave soldiers. Season 3. The war continues, with Robb and his army winning several key battles against the Lannisters. However, he is ultimately betrayed and killed by the Freys and the Boltons, who had been loyal to the Starks. Jon Snow, Ned Stark's illegitimate son, joins the Night's Watch and travels beyond the Wall to investigate rumors of a dangerous threat from the north. Daenerys conquers several cities in Slaver's Bay, freeing the slaves and gaining their loyalty. She also meets Jorah Mormont, a former ally of her brother Viserys who becomes one of her closest advisors. Season 4. The Lannisters emerge victorious in the war, but at a great cost. Tywin Lannister, the family patriarch, is killed by his own son Tyrion, who is forced to flee King's Landing and becomes a fugitive. Sansa Stark, Ned's daughter, is married off to Tyrion's younger brother, but escapes with the help of Littlefinger, a master manipulator who has his own agenda. Jon Snow becomes involved in a conflict between the Night's Watch and the Wildlings, a group of people who live north of the Wall. Daenerys continues to conquer cities and gain allies, but struggles to maintain order in the cities she has already taken.